Lewis Hamilton, Toto Wolff reveals how tragic Brexit will impact Mercedes and F1 rivals. The majority of F1 teams are based in the UK and they are all keeping a close eye on British politics. A no deal was taken off the cards this week as MPs voted against the movement in a damning blow to Theresa May. Meanwhile, Wolff is gearing up to try and win the F1 championship for a sixth successive year with Mercedes. But he is worried about the impact Brexit could have on his team. "I will get in trouble there. I shouldn't talk about politics," Wolff said. "But for us, we have 26 nations in our company and it is a matter of concern. We are living from the just-in-time principle of getting goods in and goods and people out, and if this were to be disrupted that would be a problem, but I don't think that can happen." Formula One is the Silicon Valley of the UK, but there are many larger industries. The automotive industry would be massively impacted if there would be the so-called no deal. I don't know what no deal would actually mean. But I think at a certain stage, common sense needs prevail. I would hope so. Wolff claims to educate himself on Brexit when he gets home from the garage every night. And he finds it amusing how the politicians are struggling to come to an agreement. "For some time, I found it really tragic, but that tragic has somehow changed to really good entertainment," Wolff added. "It's better than the Netflix thing, F1's Drive to Survive, actually. Every evening I watched BBC.com and what they showed from the House of Commons, and you're not quite sure whether it's Monty Python or whether it's really happening." Next news: Vettel, Mercedes were in league of their own. Sebastian Vettel says Mercedes look in a league of their own after he finished free practice 0.873s behind Lewis Hamilton's FP2 time. The reigning world champion also topped the FP1 standings, but at that point was less than a tenth clear of Ferrari's duo of Vettel and Charles Leclerc. However, the Silver Arrows left the pack chasing in the second session, claiming a 1-2 as Max Verstappen came closest to them in P3, but still a whole 0.8s adrift. "Yeah, confidence, and it was a tricky day for us and probably a tricky day for everyone," Vettel told Motorsport Week. "I think for us we are not where we would like to be, not in terms of lap time but in terms of car feel and handling. We didn't really get into the groove and rhythm, and that's quite important around here. So if we can get that confidence and that groove back, there is a lot of lap time in that around here. Even if Ferrari were to find this pace, the four-time champ believes Mercedes will take some catching. I think they looked really quick, and I don't know if it was just us struggling a bit today or others, but as a matter of fact they were in a league of their own," he added. "Maybe everyone else was struggling and then we can turn it around, but they looked very strong and much stronger than they claimed before the weekend. But I'm optimistic because I know the car can do much better." Next news: Horner casts doubt on Mercedes race pace. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner is unsure whether the stiff and difficult Mercedes can follow up its one-lap pace in race trim. Despite all the talk of Ferrari being ahead of everyone, Lewis Hamilton finished fastest in both free practice sessions, while at the end of FP2, Mercedes had a 1-2 in the bag and a 0.8s advantage over the rest of the pack. And while the Silver Arrows pace has seemingly made previous stats redundant, Horner isn't ready to board the Mercedes bandwagon just yet. Mercedes looked quick in that second session, the times that both their drivers turned out looked pretty quick, he told Sky Sports. Ferrari looked like they underdelivered to what we thought they had in testing, and our guys both had pretty decent runs. Max Verstappen got quite a bit of traffic on his fast laps, so I think there's quite a bit of potential there. There's more setup changes to come and we don't know what fuel loads people are running, but it Looks interesting. On the long runs we look pretty sensible, and I think the one-lap pace of the Mercedes in that session looked pretty impressive, but the car looks stiff and difficult to drive, so whether that's sustainable for a Grand Prix I don't know. Verstappen finished FP2 ahead of Vettel, with the Dutchman securing P3 while his rival at Ferrari ended proceedings 1/10 behind in P5. However, Horner was reluctant to talk up Red Bull's chances of matching the Scuderia. "I don't know, we'll find out tomorrow, but we can only look at ourselves," he explained. "We for sure have some things to improve, but I think everyone has. It's the first day, you start here. The Mercedes looks very quick. We've got lots of work to do, and for sure we'll analyze a lot. I think in general the car felt alright, from the engine side, no problems. They just went very smoothly and things were good. Things weren't actually that smooth for Red Bull in the engine department, with Pierre Gasly suffering a loss of power at the end of FP2, though Honda claimed it would not impact upon Red Bull's running tomorrow." Next news: Renault bemoans strength of B-team outfits. Renault boss, Cyril Abiteboul, has bemoaned the strength of B-team outfits such as Toro Rosso following the first day of action in Melbourne, Australia. Toro Rosso began by being firmly involved in the midfield pack in FP1 but did fall out of the top 10 in the second practice session, with both Renault cars showing improvement. But Abiteboul is still not happy with how teams are able to forge closer alliances with strong technical relationships like Toro Rosso enjoy with Red Bull. "Just look at Toro Rosso, who in my opinion are likely to be the team to beat as far as we're concerned for the start of the season given where we are," Abiteboul told Sky Sports F1. Toro Rosso had no technical director for most of last season. "It's very clear what went on. So we don't even need a technical director to produce what is a very competitive car. For us that's a problem." Abiteboul went on to say that Haas were the team to blame the change in how B teams work. "There was a before and after Haas that has created a precedent," he added. "I'm not challenging, but I'm just saying, how do we move forward for teams like us, like McLaren, like Williams? But also, how does a manufacturer that's currently not in Formula One that wants to join Formula One, how is it they will seriously contemplate reaching Formula One if it's not possible to win without a B team? For me that's a strategic question we have to consider for the discussion for 2021. For 19 and 20 that's gone now, we are gone with that type of setup. But for 2021 I hope everyone realizes how serious a question it is." Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.